They have always said that a person who does not read good books has no advantage over other people who do not read, and Mark Twain, the satirical American lecturer, explains to us in this article good tips to get into a simple, successful life, and we hope that you will find in these tips useful strategies for you over the years. And among these tips in getting a simple and successful life: 1. The secret always behind moving forward is just the beginning. The secret behind getting a simple and successful life is also the next step, and start breaking down overwhelmingly complex tasks and turning them into small tasks. For example, when you start looking too far in the future for any task or project that can seem close to impossible, so you stop working on it because you are afraid of failure, and you start living aimlessly. So instead, break that difficult task and break it down into small, practical steps. This is all you need to focus on, not anything else. And by taking the first step, change your mental state to resist the feeling that you can't do anything. If you put yourself in any situation, you should become more positive and open, so that you are excited to take the next step to reach your destination and finish the task successfully. 2. Talk less and do a lot. Work always speaks louder than words, but not often. There are 2 types of people. People who get things done. People who claim to have things to do. And the first group is the least crowded. It's often easy to talk, but putting the habit of work is a little difficult stuff. So always come back to breaking your task into smaller parts. It's one of the most effective things you can do to take more consistent actions and reach a simple, successful life. These are 2 other habits that work very well for you. Start your day with a positive routine in the morning. A good start often leads to a good day, and either a bad or inconclusive start often leads to a very normal day. Creating a good start is a good breakfast, positive information, and starting to work with my most important colleagues. Before you take one of those small steps, make sure that you have created an area where you are likely to be less distracted or less disturbed. You can shut down your internet or use a blocker program for the most visited sites. Put your phone in silent mode and somewhere where you can't see it for a while. Close the door of your room and start working. 3. Be brave in the face of fear. Courage is to resist fear, and to be able to fear and not the absence of fear. If you want to be brave, it will be difficult to live the simple life you want to live at times, and you have a point of view full of fear. And while it's rarely easy to be brave, I've found a few ways to make it easier, including: always ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Not just think about it for a few seconds, but by sitting down with a pen and a piece of paper or a laptop, and writing down everything as if you're thinking about it in the worst ways to get to a realistic scenario. And then write a plan for you to get back to such a scenario. This brings clarity, diffuses vague fears, and helps you realize that you can most of the time bounce back quickly. Great, even if the scenario would somehow be worse. Share your fear with someone. Keeping fear inside is an easy thing to build fear that reaches this huge nightmare. And this is considered a very dangerous thing. And you can eliminate it by exchanging some interventions with a friend or family member. This can help you relieve fear and internal pressure, and you can get a healthier perspective on things again. In fact, accepting fear is the natural motivation to try to negate fear when it appears in your life. You can try not to think about it and try to push it away. And in many cases, it may be better to accept only that fear is here now in order to stop feeding more energy associated with fear, to float away or at least become smaller. 4. Making sure you have a positive partnership. Mark Twain says that staying away from people who are trying to underestimate your ambitions is a radical solution. If you feel small, make sure that you will be like this, and that your vision is really great. 2. You can become great. And I have mentioned this many times, but it is worth remembering again. You should spend more time with the most positive people, and with books, music, movies, radio, and websites. And you should spend your time on avoid spending any time with negative sources. You must have a conscious choice and start shaping your own environment and the simple life you desire. 5. Focus on what is really important to you. You should make a conscious choice to focus on what is most important in your life, not on different things or other people. Mark Twain explained what are the most important things in your life in order to put them intelligently where you see them every day in your workspace, etc. These things will help you keep your mind constantly, and this will be your top priority in order to reach simple life. 6. When feelings explode, all you have to do is wait. Time is in a state of constant change. No mood can be maintained unchanged to a great extent, and make sure that it is easy to make bad decisions when you have a lot of negative emotion, and that it is very easy to become angry or impulsive. And this happens with some people when they are criticized by someone. And in fact, attacking that person again will not be the choice. The best here can really hurt your self-esteem. But how you can control the impulse against any attack, or not make a hasty decision. Here are some tips that help you. You should always remind yourself of the possible consequences, and that you do not want to injure yourself, either self-esteem or make bad decisions with negative results. You can count when at least 10 and take a breath from the abdomen. This is a simple way to calm yourself down, restore some views that can save you a lot of trouble, and help you avoid saying something that can't come back. Review how you feel. If you have more time and less than a minute, then try to accept how you feel to mitigate big emotions more quickly. If possible, wait until tomorrow or at least later in the day, by which time you will most likely have lost any negative emotions and will evaporate. And then you can see things clearer and take action in a better and smarter way.